Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. I'm going to tell you right now that I like Subriel Matias. I like him a lot. I think he has a lot of potential, a lot of power, and I think if he's gotten things together in his personal life as far as really being beyond this whole thing about smoking weed and living a reckless life, right? If he really has that together, he can go on to continue to do great things in boxing. But if he has not, he won't go too much further. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this. There was an article that came out on BoxingScene.com where he was saying that he was smoking a lot of pot and he just felt that a lot of his vices just weren't allowing him to be the best Subriel Matias, right? Wasn't taking training seriously, and just outside of marijuana had a lot of things that he was doing that kept him from reaching his potential. Now, if you guys don't know, right now at 140 pounds, Subriel Matias is the guy who everyone feels will dominate and defeat any and everyone at 140 pounds. He's been pegged to go on and become undisputed at 140 if, in fact, he can get the unification bouts. But I'm going to tell you this right now. He's saying that the guy that we've seen the last couple of years is nothing like what we're going to see right now. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Although he feels that he's 300% compared to the guy who fought the last couple of outings, especially where he ended up getting dropped in a fight on the, I think it was the Fury Wilder undercard. He says, look, he's going to show all the fans that who Subriel Matias is and how he's here to put on the show. Now, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, when you have a guy, man, who has a lot of vices, right? Man, sometimes it's hard to get from underneath that. I understand there's a lot of content creators who talk boxing. I'm pulling from 25 years of experience in dealing with people now, right? So what I'm giving you is what I've seen. And remember, everyone is different. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm seeing where people, man, they have these things that sometimes they just can't shake. And if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different vices, sometimes it's hard to get from underneath all of them. You may get away from one, you may get away from two. Hard to get away from all of them, okay? Whether it's drinking alcohol, whether it's food, whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's, just staying out late and partying. No matter what it is, sometimes it's hard to get away from that. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You're talking about people who have vices. I had a guy, right, that I worked with, and this man ended up getting put out the military because he couldn't come to work on time. You know why he couldn't come to work on time? Because of an addiction to video games. Y'all think I'm joking? He couldn't get control of his vice, which happened to be video games. Yo, I'm telling you, we had to go and get this man out of his room because he was living in the dorms. Multiple occasions, and he's there, sleep deprived, like a zombie, off of video games. He was late so much that they discharged him. This man was late like 40-something times. And when they realized, okay, it's video games, they figured it wasn't alcohol. He wasn't out here, doing drugs. He wasn't out here getting into trouble. So they tried to work with him. But he just had something. He just could not, he just couldn't get control of it. and bad things happen. Now, the other extreme, I seen a guy who liked to smoke weed. I knew these are people I actually worked with, man. And as I progressed through my career, you started hearing stories about people who just get involved in the wrong things. But I had a guy, he was having issues at home. He liked to smoke weed. He liked to drink. He was doing cocaine, and he was having issues at work. And they tried to get him into rehab, tried to get him help. They took his couple strikes from him, and he had a good team. Because most of the time, when you start having shit like that going on, it's a quality of life issue. But he had a wife and kids, and they were relocating, and they were trying to help him. But ended up, man, he ended up getting put out the military because he was able to get control of the ups and downs in this house between him and his wife. They were able to get control of the drinking. At work, things got a little bit better at work, but he had this habit. He liked to do cocaine, and he was out there, dealing with some. We call them, when you're in the military, you call the people who are not in the military, you call them civilians, right? He was out there chilling with some civilians, the wrong crowd to be around, and he just couldn't shake this whole thing of being around people and doing cocaine. And eventually, he just didn't go very far, and he got kicked out and discharged and lost all of his benefits and everything. So when I hear Subriel Matias talking about not that he was just smoking weed, I'm not really worried about him smoking weed. But when he says vices, that's plural. It's like, okay, what else does he have going on? Or did he have going on? Or is he telling us that he's gotten in front of it, he no longer has that issue? Because I want to see all these boxers win. But when I hear guys talk like this, it's like, damn. How far is he going to go before these things start to rear their head again? Let me tell you something. Subriel Matias, he's not there yet. He hasn't really arrived yet. He's still putting the work in. Y'all understand? Subriel Matias is still putting work in. He hasn't reached the stage of a Cotto or a Trinidad. Don't get me wrong. He's a pretty big deal in Puerto Rico. Right? Puerto Ricans love their fighters. They love their fighters. And I'm telling you right now, Subriel Matias is a big deal in Puerto Rico, but he ain't Cotto big deal. He ain't even Edgar Berlanga big deal. He ain't even, what's his name? Gabriel Rosado big deal. And he sure as hell ain't Felix Trinidad big deal. He's 19-1. He's an IBF champion. But if he happens to get an opportunity to go and unify titles, he becomes a bigger deal. Bigger deal, bigger money, bigger entourage, bigger attention. Bigger chance of him succumbing to those vices, or one of those many vices that he seemed to have, according to him, gotten control over. Let's say he goes on and he ends up becoming undisputed, or he ends up beating a really big name. Now, the bigger entourage, bigger money, bigger attention becomes even bigger across all areas. And now he's around people who may be involved in some of those things that he once was, that he tried to get away from. And now we're going to find out just how strong he is. Does he have the discipline to be like, let me get away from this. Let me not be in this area. Let me not be around these people. But I'm going to tell you something about Caribbean people, right? And I think I can say this for anyone who comes from a Caribbean background. Man, Caribbean people like to party. They like their little drinks. They like their music. They like their food. We're festive people. But boy, sometimes, man, the stuff that come with that, depending on where you're at and who you're around, there's some stuff there that may not work out so well for you if you don't have the discipline, the strength to say no, or say I'm cool, or know how to get out of that situation without offending somebody and making them think that you're better than them. I've been in them situations, man. Come around, guys, everybody drinking, you want to drink? No, I don't drink. See, I don't drink. And so sometimes I would just take the drink and I would hold it. They'd be like, you're nursing your drink, man. Drink up, get something. I'm like, no, I'm cool. And I'd act like I'm sipping. I wouldn't even be sipping it. And I would never drink. But I knew at some places I was at, some people take offense to that. And some people think, oh, you think you're better. But the whole thing with drugs and all that, I would draw the line to sand on that. I'm like, nah, I'm all right, man. You know, hey, y'all, hold on, I'll be right back. You know, whatever. Hey, what's up? I see, hey, man, you want some? Nah, I'm good, man. Y'all go ahead. Hold on, I'll be right back, and find a way to exit out of it. We go talk to this girl or whatever. You got to find a way to, you know, just know how to move and get out of them situations. And I think he does, man, and I hope he does. But I don't like the fact that I didn't know he had vices that he was struggling with before that he seemed to have gotten in front of. But how far will he go? Because if he really hasn't gotten the help needed to deal with those vices, as he continues to become more successful in boxing, it's just going to be even more temptation. You see it happen before, man. These guys crash and burn. They don't know how to deal with the success. You guys talk about it, man. Hell, look at, there's a lot of them, but one guy right now who took a serious blow to his career was after he retired was Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is doing drugs for the longest. Listen to him tell his story, you would never know it. Whatever demons he had, he never was able to really get in front of them. We all know the Mike Tyson story, and there's so many others, man. But for Subriel Matias, I'm rooting for him. I hope he goes on and goes far. But when I heard him come out talking about it, it just made me say, uh-oh, I need to watch him. Well, let's watch and see how the next couple of years go. But really, I really hope that he pulled it all together and he can move forward tough and go on to have a successful career, because he's on his way. When you take a look at really what's out there for him, let me expand this a little bit. When you look at what's out here for Subriel Matias, if he fought Teofimo, that'd be a close fight. But Matias can fight, but so can Teo. Regis Prograis, I don't know. I have to favor Subriel Matias. Rolly Romero, Subriel Matias. I don't know. I'd have to favor Subriel Matias. If Devin Haney beats Regis Prograis, I don't know, man. I may have to favor Subriel Matias because he's vicious. But if he doesn't get any of those opportunities, he has a fight at IBF mandatories. You know, Shojahan Ergashev, he's fighting, I think, Matias. I think they're fighting this weekend in there. Hitchens is a problem. Josh Taylor's bounced already. Catterall, I don't know what he's going to do. He's trying to fight Josh Taylor, but he's still trying to hang around 140. Ryan Garcia. Bottom line is, there's some good names there and good fights to be made for Subriel Matias. But I think he's either going to prove to be his worst enemy, or he's going to prove to be the guy who, you know, confronted his issues head on and was able to get in front of them. And he deserves to thank himself if he's done that and can continue to do that and continue to be successful in his boxing career. That being said, y'all keep cool. Will he go far? Won't he go far? I guess we got to wait and see. But right now, he seems to be on track. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.